Trump state law, and everybody who's in the United States, is subject to our jurisdiction, our laws. So if you are an illegal alien, you have constitutional protections just for the fact that you're in the country. Look, I don't like this law. I think it's been misused. I understand the original intent in the 19th century, and it was a good one. But I think that illegal aliens are sneaking across the border so they can give birth and have their kids Americans so they can stay here. I'm with you in spirit. But I don't believe the Supreme Court is going to overturn this law or allow the states to do so because of the wording here.
If you look at the wording subject to the jurisdiction thereof, actually, illegal aliens are not subject to the jurisdiction thereof in the sense that the framers of the 14th Amendment meant it. If you look at the debates in Congress in 1866.
You have to explain that for me, because if an illegal alien commits a crime, they go to prison. They're subject to the jurisdiction of whatever state they commit the crime in. If an illegal alien is caught, they can be deported by the federal government because they're subject to the jurisdiction of the federal government. So explain this to me.
Yeah, they're subject to what's called the territorial jurisdiction thereof, but they are not subject to the complete jurisdiction. If you look at the debates in Congress and the statements of John Bingham and Jacob Howard in the U.S. Congress in 1866, they said, oh no, complete jurisdiction is what we are asserting, and that means that the person is born to parents who have allegiance to no foreign power. They have no connection to any foreign power. Only are those people subject to the complete jurisdiction of the United States.
But here's where you're going to run into problems with the Supreme Court. They're going to say it's not about the parents, it's about the baby. The baby has no allegiance to any foreign government. It's born here. So I think you're going to lose. Now, I could be wrong. Look, I'm wrong all the time, and I could be wrong. But you know, as a very smart guy, that you could lose.
Certainly, you can't predict what the Supreme Court is going to say, but I will say this. If the Supreme Court attempts to give meaning to the original understanding of the 14th Amendment, it's a slam dunk. We win. Because if you look at what the framers of the 14th Amendment... It's not going to be a slam dunk because you have 4 liberal Supreme Court justices who are no way in hell going to vote this out. So you're starting with 4 saying there's nothing you could say, no document you could produce that's going to change their minds. So there you have 5. You've got to convince all 5, that this wording doesn't mean that a baby automatically becomes a citizen if born here. I'll tell you, there's one other principle at work here, and that's the principle that goes all the way back to the original Supreme Court decisions with Chief Justice John Marshall, and that is there's no surplus words in the U.S. Constitution. Every word has to have meaning. And if you read the Constitution the way some on the left are reading it right now, then subject to the jurisdiction thereof has no meaning. Our Constitution just says all persons born in the United States are U.S. citizens.
With all due respect to the 4 liberal justices, they see it as an evolving document, not a document that it was written, and they don't care what the original intent was. And I think there's conservatives who have blind spots too, but it is quite clear to me that the 4 liberal justices are going to vote on ideology on this. So therefore, you're really up against it. You got to get all 5 to come down on your side on a very complicated matter. Mr. Kobach, I'll give you the last word.
That may be true, but note that there was another thing that was announced today. Not only are states moving this bill to define state citizenship according to the original meaning of the 14th Amendment, there's also a state compact. And the state compact would say, we states are going to define state citizenship this way. We're going to define subject to the jurisdiction thereof this way. And if Congress ratifies that compact, it takes on the force of federal law. And so that, under Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution, is a way for Congress, without a presidential signature, by the way, for Congress to finally address the question, too. So they are also teeing it up for the states, teeing it up for Congress.
All right. Well, we're going to follow this because it's very, very interesting, and we appreciate it. Congratulations on your new position in the state of Kansas, Mr. Kobach.
Thank you.
All right. Plenty more ahead as the Factor moves along this evening. Now they're beheading people in Mexico and putting the head